You're listening to Desynced Nerds, a Nintendo Switch podcast. This is episode 39, airing on Monday, the 2nd of July. We're your hosts. I'm Colin. He's Devon, bringing you all the latest news and hot topics from around the internet. This week we have Nintendo interviews, a new Square Enix game, and a Celeste getting a physical game. But first, Devon, Weekend Gaming, what you been doing?
Oh god, I've completely drawn a blank. No, thank you for your handy little suggestions. Arena of Valor. I played a bunch of the Arena of Valor beta.
You know, if you write it in here, you don't have to remember.
I mean,
that's how the show notes work.
It's not like I have a 50-page document of everything that we're supposed to be talking about at any given point.
Anyway.
So Arena of Valor, which is really good. Let's do this because we've played a bunch of the same games, so I want to have a conversation here. So you've played the Arena of Valor beta a bit. I've played it a fair amount. What did you think?
I liked the way everything but the skill shots worked. I felt like the skill shots were a little bit too hand-holdy, too easy, or they weren't hand-holdy enough. There was no middle ground. So I played Vera for 2 seconds in a practice match, and I couldn't miss a skill shot if I tried. But then there was I can't even remember who it was, but he had a slow-moving one, and I couldn't hit that.
Mm.
But then I play something like Valerian, the 80 carry guy, and it's just forget it. It's just free wins for days. Every ability is just an auto attack, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a certain problem with we are players who have gotten fairly serious into the MOBA genre, and so these new players who have never played a MOBA before in their lives, they're just free games repeatedly.
Oh yeah, that was definitely another thing. I didn't like in League of Legends when you start a new account, it's it asks you to gauge your own experience, and of course you can lie to it, but at least. I would never lie to it. I'd never tell it I was a brand new character who've never played a MOBA before. I really wish this had it, because I played 3 games, and all 3 games I got 20 plus kills in every one of them. It's a little scummy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. When we played League, we always loved Smurfs, so. Yeah.
I feel so dirty.
That's hilarious. I rediscovered my love and my hate for MOBAs while playing this, because, I mean, I think I messaged this to you. It's it's, halfway through the game, the enemy team is taking the Baron buff, whatever the equivalent is, I don't know what it's called, and my bot lane is pushing to their inhib towers again, and it's just
perfect. It's perfect play. What do you pick?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't stop both, Devon. It's genius.
It hurts me so much, and it just it's only made worse by the fact that we're playing with really low skill people, we're, as we've said, in starting elo.
Here, I got the perfect solution. Just yell at them a lot, and that'll make them better players.
I hear that works. There was a great Reddit thread about how chat in Arena of Valor has shown that particular person why Nintendo will never put chat in Splatoon and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, yeah, if you've ever played a MOBA, you know how that is, because
the best part about that thread is he's talking about toxicity on the internet, and it drummed up so much toxicity in his thread. It's just this is the problem. Do you not understand? Do you not see how this is poetry in motion? Morons. But anyway, let's move on to something else.
Okay, we also played the Octopath Traveler demo, which we've both touched on a little bit. I'm gonna put the pre-order in. That's the takeaway from this stupid demo.
And you're not even done your demo yet.
Yeah, I'm not done with the demo. Grumble.
Not that you need to be to make that decision, though. It's a pretty awesome game.
Yeah, and I'm I could lose $30 in dining out money this month. That'll be fine. I'll just that's what I'll do, and that's where I'm at with that stupid game.
Nice. I did my full 3 hours yesterday, 2 days ago, and I did Hunnet the Hunter, Ophelia the Priest, and I got through the beginning part of Cyrus the Scholars. Mm-hmm. And oh my god, it's great. I love it so much.
I am curious.
I cannot wait for that to come out.
Yeah, I'm curious where they go with it after you collect all the people, because I mean these are fairly short. As you said, you got through almost 3 full people in 3 hours. So
if you look at the map, there's different sections, and each person sets up a thing. Hunnet is looking for her teacher, mm-hmm. And so there's you start here because this is the last known place that she knew that he was going to be at. Obviously, that's not going to be where he is, because that'd be the lamest story ever. Ophelia has to go to 4 different points around the continent to light some fire, the holy fire, and Cyrus is probably just gonna get he's looking for a stolen book, so he's probably just gonna get his trail led forever. So you probably just pick where you want to go with your team.
And just
And your team will probably be ever evolving because once you finish one, you don't need them in your party anymore, or maybe they're over leveled. So now you keep them, but you know work on somebody else's.
Mhm.
That's what I assume is going to happen.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be. I mean, I don't know. I would be a little disappointed that there's not kind of like an overarching storyline, but also cool that you get to pick who you want to like be friends with and take along with you. I don't know. It's still a gorgeous game, and I still enjoy the combat and whatnot. So. It's a stupid thing. I'm so mad at myself about this game, and I don't know why.
About Oxpath? Why?
Yeah.
What do you mad how?
Because I was planning on skipping it. I was thinking about not buying it, and now I'm just like, now I have to buy this stupid game, and it's gonna be 80 hours, and I didn't plan for this. It hurts.
That's more or less how I was with this third game on my list for this week, Battle Chasers. I was like, I'll just pound through this. So if I don't like it, whatever. And now I'm just like, I'm doing side quests in it because I can't get enough of it. There's like hunts in the game where you go drudge up like world bosses, kind of, sort of. And I'm just like all about it. Then you can unlock abilities by killing each specific character's like a world boss or doing their task. And now I'm doing that. I've just like ignored the story. I need to stop. I got Wolfenstein 2 Friday. Yeah, I got it Friday, and I haven't had a chance to play it yet because I've been playing these other 3 things.
I mean, these are respectable things to like not play it for. At least you're not, couldn't play Wolfenstein because I'm busy in Candy Crush or Pokemon Quest.
No, we're not going to talk about that. I'll fight you. Let's move on to the news or something.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
All right. First thing up, Nintendo says Mario Kart is only the first to receive Labo support. I want it in my Pokemon Quest next.
Get out of here. No, we're done. We're moving on. This show is over. That's it. It was what, 39 episodes?
All right, peace.
Yeah, so we reported on this at the very this was very late breaking news last week. Mario Kart got Labo support, and since then it's evolved a little bit. It's basically what you would expect. The motorbike handle is how you control it. But yeah, I don't really know what they do with this without further expansions to Labo in general. So overall, they have the 2 RC cars, they have the fishing rod, they have the house, they have the motorbike, and they have the piano. Other than Mario Kart, all I can see here is Animal Crossing Switch confirmed.
Yo, the fishing would be tight for Animal Crossing.
The fishing and the house. You could like look into your little houses and see your little person running around, and I'm just saying this is a thing. Nintendo, I will buy Labo, please. Just give me Animal Crossing. I need it.
Didn't Reggie say they deleted Animal Crossing from their repertoire? I'm pretty sure that's in an interview, right?
Why do you hurt me? Why do you do this?
Because I hate you. You ready to move on?
Yeah, I guess so. That's not super interesting. I am curious if that would is there any game integration that would make you buy this?
I mean, the only thing that I would really want or care about is motion controls in a shooter, which they're doing. Panic Button has put that in Wolfenstein and Doom, and it's already inherently in Splatoon. So no, I don't care. Unless they add something to the toy cons. I can't see any of the current stuff being something I care about.
What if it was like a full on like gun that you held? Would that?
Well, that's what I was thinking of. Like if it was like the SNES, what is that? What was that gun? What?
The light gun, the zapper gun?
No, not the NES one. The Super Nintendo one. The big it was like a big long one. You like held into your shoulder. Anyway, if they made something like that, I'll look it up. Look it up because I wanted one for a long time. Anyway, let's move on to something I also don't care about. The World Ends With You has a release date and special edition details.
Wait,
you don't care about it though, so
you don't care about this?
The World Ends With You? No.
It's such a good game. It's an action JRPG. Like, it's got all the anime tropes that you love. The power of friendship, the moody main character.
Yeah, but does it have copious amounts of plot?
Because they're kids. Don't be disgusting. Why are you awful? Anyway.
No, so are the kids in Xenoblade. Anyway.
So the release date and the special edition are Japan specific, which is very disappointing. Because the special edition is amazing. We'll get there. So the release date is the 27th of September, which surprised me. I expected this to be later in the year, but it will have a full additional chapter of content. It's going to have controller and touchscreen support, which I don't know how they do controller support. So in the 3DS version, the game it controlled really weird. That was one of the cool things about it. It was like you had an attack that you had to swipe across the enemy to damage. And then you had an attack that would you draw circles around them. And then there was another attack that you had to breathe and make noise into the microphone to attack with. So it was very interesting in how you controlled. And so I really don't know how they do this with a controller for a lot of that stuff. I'm kind of afraid they just make it a button masher. And that's a little disappointing. Or would be a little disappointing. I don't know. We'll see. That being said, I wouldn't be happy about it if it was touchscreen only, because I don't play touchscreen often enough to enjoy that. So, and then finally, the special edition has a soundtrack CD, an art book, a stylus pen, which is a throwback to the fact that it was obviously a touchscreen, a acrylic stand of the main character, a bunch of stickers, and then so the weapons in that game come in the form of little tin buttons, badges, and you have to equip those and you collect them. And it has a sticker set of those little tin badges, and I want it so bad. All right, I need you to wake up and move on, I guess. You hate me.
I need you to look at the chat in the Discord. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's called the Super Scope.
I can't look at the Discord chat while we're streaming.
Okay. It's like a gun that you put on your shoulder. Anyway, we'll see it after the show. Next up, Switch piracy tools can break your console, but it's hilarious.
Yeah. Surprising nobody, the piracy tools can go poorly. The thing about this that is amazing is that it is intentional. So it's a paid-for program. You have to give some hacker money to download the piracy tool. But it has DRM. Yeah, HackerMan. It has DRM. So if you use a copy that's not registered to you, this DRM will trigger and break your console. Because nobody likes their content being pirated. It's a little... I don't know.
Including pirates.
Yeah. It's a little on the nose for me. I can't... I just don't understand how you can, in good conscience, put that in there. It gets worse. You want to move us forward one?
Okay. Adding a larger strain to this tool, it has stolen code from another project.
Yeah, so he just straight up, I say he like it's a single person, they just straight up copied and pasted code from another tool, and then sold it. And it just, I don't know, there's kind of there's this idea of the ethical hacker that obviously just doesn't exist in this realm, or at least does not exist in this person, because it's just everything you can do that is against that sort of ethos is being displayed here, and it's amazing to me. As I keep saying, this is something that I will normally defend, but they're making it really, really hard to defend this on the Switch. It's not good.
Ready to move on?
Yeah, move me on.
Speaking of hackers, another Sakurai column. He's a hacker.
Weren't you just talking about how good you were getting at transitions the other week?
I was sarcastic.
Okay.
Clearly.
I mean, yeah, after that one. Anyway, Sakurai column. Sakurai specifically calls out the fact that he doesn't think there's going to be another Smash Brothers with every fighter in it, which is funny to me because he also has said that this is the last Smash, which is extra funny given that... Was it in here? Oh, it's not in here. There was another quote where he basically made it very clear that he expects there to be another game. I don't know. This man can't get his story straight about this, and it's a little silly. He also stated that Nintendo is the one that dictates when Smash is worked on, and which is odd given that he's an independent contractor. He's not actually a Nintendo employee. He could at any given point just say, I'm not working on it. I'm not taking that contract, and move on.
Yeah, but he wants the fat stacks. I mean, that makes a lot of sense coming from the contractor kind of background.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo decides when the contract is up to be worked on. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, he's also said that he wants to work on other games, but Nintendo won't let him. He just keeps They just keep throwing Smash Brothers contracts at him. So
He's basically a temp.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to do what he wants. He's just a temp. No, listen, Sakurai, shut up. You're doing Smash again.
The weird thing to me about this, and maybe it's like a translation tone issue, but he comes off a little bitter. Like, I read the interview or the column is a little bitter and angry about it, and yet he keeps doing it. Like, at any point, you can just walk away and be like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't."
Because he's got bills to pay, Devin. He can't say no.
I mean, he's got to be fairly wealthy after this. Like,
I want to eat this week, so I got to make Smash for Switch.
fair enough.
No, he's got to be fine. I don't know.
I have to wonder if that's like maybe a Japanese culture, like work ethic thing, that he's got this like loyalty to the parent company that's made his life for him.
Maybe. I have no idea.
You know anything about Japanese culture, please let us know. So we can not be dumb Americans.
Discord.
Yeah, in the Discord. Thank you. bit.ly/DSN Discord.
How about that call to action? Speaking of Japanese people, Reggie had another monster interview. Tell me about Reggie's monster interview.
You're just trolling me at this point.
Yeah, yep.
That's definitely not a trend in this show. You never troll me. Anyway, so yeah, the interview started off by really aggressively calling Nintendo out on the state of eShop discovery. He was like, I read the question and I was just like, okay, dude, chill out. Chill out. Yeah, jumping down his throat about eShop discoverability. To which Reggie responded, he pointed out that they added categories of best-selling and best-selling online game, which is kind of funny given that the interview specifically calls out finding stuff that isn't massively popular. I think the exact wording he used was like, if I can't find anything that's not on the front page of every news article, I can't find that game. And so then for Reggie to come back and say, oh yeah, well you can see the best-selling games, like, no, you're not. That's not a solution to the problem.
Did you hear the question? I don't think you heard the question.
I mean, he was probably just so floored by the fact that the guy was like, basically telling him he was a terrible human being that he was just like, whoa, dude, whoa.
They just sit down and he gets punched right in the gut and he's like trying to scramble to figure out where to go from there.
Reggie also points out that Nintendo is doing a lot of work outside of the eShop to drive people to Nintendo.com and then also improve search, which I don't love this approach. I don't think that...
What's Nintendo.com gonna do that? Like why? Why are they making that push? Why do they want you on Nintendo.com?
I would assume
the only reason I ever do that is when I'm at work and my Switch is at home and I want to start a download on something.
Yeah.
Like, why else would I ever go to Nintendo.com for that?
I mean, it's easier to manage. It's easier to like navigate. Having a mouse and an actual keyboard.
The keyboard is yeah.
So, and it has much better search capabilities too. It's got a lot more filters. You can say, oh, I want to see stuff that's been released. I want to see stuff that's upcoming. I can see stuff that is more than $10 but less than 30. Like, it's
so instead of fixing the Switch one, they want you to go to the website where it's already fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what he's saying? I don't understand.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. I hope that's not what I'm choosing to hear, but that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So he moved on to this thing that has just become a meme. He added that his Mario Tennis main is Waluigi, which of course led to him being needled about Smash Brothers. It was actually kind of
gonna win.
This is gonna be the last show. I'm going to murder him. So yeah, it led to him being needled about Smash Brothers, and it was a very funny kind of interaction. The guy was like, the interviewer. Clearly, I think it was like the interviewers last week or something, because jeez, this guy was crazy. He was like, so clearly Nintendo doesn't care about Smash, and Reggie just goes, clearly, all caps, and then the guy starts talking again. He gets about halfway through a sentence, and then Reggie again, all caps, clearly, and then he finally answered the question. It was amazing. I couldn't actually tell if he was like perturbed or what, but it was funny to me. Anyway, so Reggie responds by saying that. One part of their approach to E3 is stepping back and looking at feedback they get from the event, which I hope so. But yeah.
No joke.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. So maybe this will be a thing that they take into account and move on. He did go on to say that Sakurai has been given the information, but at the end of the day, it is 100% Sakurai's decision what to do with the roster. So, but also clearly. He declined to comment on adding new features to the current Switch games with the online package. So the guy was like, "Will we see new stuff added to Splatoon or whatever, Breath of the Wild or whatnot?" And he just didn't want to talk about that, which is fair. They keep deflecting. I think we'll talk about this a little bit later. No, I didn't put it in the show notes. So there was a Q&A interview with the Japanese presidents, and they get asked about the Switch Online, and they're like, "Just please be patient. Just wait. We'll get to this." And I don't understand what Nintendo's like. They have this press rollout that they've got planned over the next 2 months, and they don't want to deviate from it at all, but they still haven't started. Like, I don't really know what they're doing. I feel like they just haven't. I don't know.
You and Nintendo both.
Yeah, that's too real. But on the same topic of online, he did talk about the new virtual console, whatever they're calling the digital available old games. Do we have a name for that? Do we know what it's called?
Virtual console? Aren't they just rolling with the old name?
No, they're fully retiring virtual console as a monkier. Oh, okay. We don't know what it's called.
Virtua console.
The quote from Reggie was, "For us, it's really about being thoughtful around what's the best way to enable consumers to have access to this content and do it in a meaningful way." Which, what does do it in a meaningful way mean? Are we going to have to unlock stuff? Is this going to be a Smash Brothers like character select screen where as you play, get high scores in Joust, you get...
Don't read too much into the speech. Like it just means nothing.
The PR talk.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, PR talk, the PR speech.
This is what I do.
He's just trying to add syllables to the sentence to sound better,
Yeah.
That's all.
You've got to get your sound bites at a certain length. He also talked about crossover games such as Mario plus Rabbids and the upcoming Starlink, which we'll actually talk about further later. It's somewhere in there. I don't know. I don't order these things intelligently. He specifically stated that Nintendo is always having conversations with various other companies about, crossovers like this. And then he added a final quote. "In the end, though, these relationships are based on a number of factors. One is a strong understanding of us as a company and the ways that we like to do business," which I read as you have to be willing to tolerate whatever random stuff we are going to put down as law because Nintendo. Yeah.
I mean, if it's on my platform, it's going to play by my rules. I agree with that. Especially because they have, until recently, they've had like a persona that they're trying to keep up, but now there's literally porn games just mixed in to the shop, so I don't know anymore. I don't know what they're doing anymore. They don't know what they're doing anymore.
Nobody has any idea. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, even with stuff like Mario Rabbids, though. Like, Mario Rabbids would have been fine on the Wii U. It would have been fine on the Switch, or on the Wii. It fits perfectly in their ethos and the way that they do things, so I don't know. I just wish they were a little less finicky about everything being done exactly as they want it to be done.
We've also heard from indie devs that Nintendo is the best platform that they've ever worked with, and this is devs that have put stuff out on Sony and Microsoft platforms. So
this is true.
They might be awful, but they might be awful in like very specific ways or ways that aren't actually that bad.
You're probably right, but I can still cry
every time.
Speaking of me crying,
ready to move on? Todd Howard confirms definitely no Fallout 4 for Nintendo Switch.
Yep. And this makes me sad. It's basically on the same engine, or it's on the exact same engine as Skyrim. So I'm a little confused by this. I would have really liked to have seen this. Fallout is probably one of my favorite. Fallout 4 specifically is one of my favorite games by them. So I would have really liked to have seen this, but
is Fallout 4 much bigger than Skyrim? Is it about the same size as Skyrim? Like, do you think it would have been too hard to do? Like, why aren't they doing that?
I have no idea, to be quite honest. There are like measurements for this one is 6.8 square miles across, and this one is whatever, but I don't know what they are. So.
It's that studio, the studio that made Skyrim. I can't remember their name right now. They're too busy trying to get Monster Hunter World, and Capcom's just not letting them do it.
If they get Monster Hunter World, I can accept this. But if they don't get Monster Hunter World, it doesn't count. All
right. Let's move on. Nintendo's, oh my god, Shinya Takahashi, I've said this one a couple times, commented on streaming from a Nintendo console. What did he say?
He said, and I quote, "We would have to determine what is a very Nintendo approach to that if we were ever to do such a thing." Which, of course. Because why would they do anything but a very Nintendo approach to something like this that everybody else has figured out? Everybody else knows how to do this perfectly fine, and Nintendo is so weird about it. I just don't understand.
They have to figure out how you can incorporate friend code somehow in there. That's what's going on.
You have to input your streamer's friend code into your address bar to get in. Yeah, that makes sense. I like it.
Yeah. And it's like a 32-digit bit code.
I like it. I mean, I don't know. No. There's more here.
Okay.
They still do weird stuff like they don't put recording by default. What is it? The Crash Bandicoot game. It's just that it doesn't have video recording in it for whatever reason. And I just they're really weird about their content being recorded and replayed, and I just don't understand it. So okay, now I'm done.
It's called Elgato.
Yeah, exactly. Just get an Elgato. You know, spend $80 on a capture card. It'll be fine.
All right, let's move on. Nintendo's current CEO presided over his final shareholder meeting.
Yep, he reiterated the plan to sell 20 million Switches. They still believe that this is going to be a thing. I'm a little skeptical at this point, but he did go on to state that most of the Nintendo's releases this fiscal year are focused on the second half of the year, which I pulled up that infographic that they told us about, and I'm a little confused by. There has to be a fair amount that we are not seeing, because I don't see a lot on this list that makes me think that they've got a strong second half of the year. Let's see, just going through this. We have Octopath Traveler, just hitting the big ones. Dark Souls Remastered, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, I guess. Monster Hunter Generations. Let's Go Pokemon, obviously. Super Mario Party, and Smash Brothers is basically it. Which, I think as far as, like, system sellers, there's really what? Smash Brothers...
Really just Smash Brothers. Because that Pokemon is essentially Pogo 2 spin-off mode. It's not a mainline Pokemon.
Well, okay, actually,
I'm gonna got Smash.
I will argue that point. I think that that's how they see Pokemon, though. They see it as being the thing that brings Pogo players into the Switch ecosystem.
Yeah, that's 100% the reason for it. But do you think they consider that to be a system seller to the magnitude of 20 million, or to finish that? I don't know how far along they are on that.
Yeah, we've not seen numbers in a while. I should look those up at some point, but
I mean, if they're super close, then yeah, okay, I get it. But if there's still a ways to go, then all they really have is Smash. I don't know that Let's Go Pikachu is gonna sell consoles more so than they're already selling. They're already selling like hotcakes, so it could just be that they're gonna ride the wave, or thinking that they're just gonna ride the wave.
I mean, I think we've seen that their current like sale velocity doesn't actually put them there. So
I also saw 2 weeks ago there was like a top sales charts coming out of the UK, and 2 weeks ago Smo was like 3 or 4. So I mean, the old stuff is still also pushing consoles too, I guess.
That actually, on that same note, we saw, I think it was also 2 weeks ago, that Splatoon was the number one selling game of all like stuff in Japan, and it's just like,
I feel like it's actually been at the top of the list for a couple months consecutively now, in Japan specifically.
Yeah,
I feel like every time I see the Japanese top charts, at least for the last 6 months, Splatoon 2 has been like the undisputed champion.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe they can live on the push that old games have given them, but I will be shocked.
Bold.
Yeah, it's bold. Oh, old. I see. Okay,
Yeah. Old. Oh, I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's yeah. Anyway, let's move on to another old game. You ready to move on?
There's one more quote. He also talked about online and says that let's start that over. He's talking about the online, and he says that they're going to a pay-to-play system to, and I quote, provide a fully realized service. Which, yeah.
I mean, you pay for PSN, you pay for Xbox Live, and those are fully realized services. I'm sure that's what that's what he means. Something along those lines.
Yeah. I want him to mean more than that, though. I want it to mean real voice chat. I want it to mean real, not friend codes. I want it to mean an online that isn't.
There's this thing in psychology where like if you come home and your dad is always angry, at some point it stops being your dad's fault that he's always angry, and it starts being your fault for expecting him to not be always angry. I think we're at the part where like it's starting to be your fault that you expect Nintendo's not doing things that Nintendo's always done.
Okay, so you're victim blaming now. Because I am a victim here, just to be clear.
Yeah, okay. I mean, sure. But at some point, remove yourself from the situation, Devin. Or
No.
at least just manage your expectations. That's all I'm saying. Don't remove yourself because I want to play some AOV with you. Nintendo's going to do what Nintendo's going to do.
They're going to give me...
They're going to do what they've always done.
Real voice chat, no more friend codes, and Switch Animal Crossing Switch in September. That's what they're going to do.
So when October rolls around, let me know how you're feeling.
And with that...
And with that, speaking of old games, I'm just gonna shamelessly re-steal that bit. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has new features, data mined, because they randomly released it, but then took it back.
Yeah. So they have a very comprehensive customizable difficulty sliders. They range on everything from like enemy attack power, enemy attack frequency, the player special charge rate, how much HP you recover when you heal. Like, it was very granular. I don't think I've ever seen something quite that in-depth before. They're also adding an ultra hard mode, which... So it was basically just a preset slider you can hit, play on like Devil boss mode, I think is what it was called, Devil something. And it would set all of the sliders to a certain point. And the preset that they have it at doesn't even make it as hard as it could possibly be. So... They think the hardest difficulty you should want to play is not as bad as it, like, as much as difficult as it can be given if you max everything out. And I don't know who this is for.
I mean, if you are just dying to get some more Xenoblade Chronicles any way you can, it's for you.
I guess.
If you're not ready for this game to die yet.
I mean, are there people that are, like, I don't know. I guess at that point, though, the question of, like, is that compelling difficulty? And maybe I'm just biased and I'm thinking of only things through my own eyes, but that does not sound like compelling difficulty to me.
I mean, I'll be real honest. A difficult video game is not a fun video game for me, personally. Dark Souls is not my jam. I want to play it, experience it, and move on. I don't want to smash my face against the screen for 10 hours until I finally beat it, and then, I finally beat it, yay me. No, that's not at all how I operate. But there are people out there who love that, so that's for them.
Okay, you're fair. That's fair. So are you gonna...
I mean, like Castlevanias.
The Castlevanias.
Metroidvanias?
Yeah, no,
Metroidvanias. That's the one. That's the right combination of the words. Those, I hate those because they're always hard. And you were talking the other day about, I don't know if I want to play Hollow Knight, I think it was, because that one's supposed to be really, really hard. Like, they're all friggin' hard. What are you talking about?
Just get good.
Yeah. I would rather not.
Fair enough. So the question is, are you going to get this and then crank everything down to nothing? Like, is that how you see this?
If I have a lot on my plate that I really, really want to get to and I really just want to pound through it, I will absolutely do that just to experience the game. I probably won't put it all the way down, but I'll put it down enough that I can walk through it.
For the Torna DLC?
Yeah. Because I still have the Mario Rabbids DLC that I haven't touched. I just got Wolfenstein I haven't touched.
You also have
Battle Chasers I'm still not done.
Battle Chasers, and then you have to New Game Plus Battle Chasers.
Oh, and I really want to. And then I have Octopath Traveler coming next Friday on the 13th, so I don't have time for this. Sliders all the way down to easy mode. Let's go.
Fair enough.
Show me that plot. Anyway, let's move on. Speaking of plot, 8-bit wireless NES gamepads are now available for pre-order.
Yeah, and that's not... It doesn't look like a NES gamepad. It's not. It looks kind of close. Like they were obviously inspired by it. No, it's just a straight NES gamepad. It's a brick. It's got, what is that, 7 buttons because they added a home button, and it's wireless. And other than that, it's just a NES controller. It's currently available for $24.99. I have been on record many times saying that this thing is a travesty against anybody's hands. It's great for what it was because we didn't... Like, it was the first controller. Before that, we had the the Atari joystick stuff. And so for what it did to controllers as a whole, yeah, it's great. But it's a travesty of design, and people should never use this. What is wrong with you people? Why do you like pain?
I will say I like the SNES one, but the NES one is where I draw the line too, because that's a little too much. The SNES I tried to pretend to care about ergonomics. The NES was just like, nah, here's a brick that cuts into your hand. Figure it out, kid.
It's like actually kind of sharp too. That's the best part. But also the SNES one was also a travesty. And
fight me. Anyway, on to other kind of sharp things. Nintendo's new Japan, I was going to say JP and then I say Japan, CEO put out a statement. What do you say?
He said that his strategy going forward will be to put more people in contact with Nintendo IP, which originally scared me, but he brought it back. He goes on to say that keeping our dedicated video game platform business with its integrated hardware and software at the core of our operations. So this was the point where I was like, okay, this isn't actually, it's not scary what he's saying. He briefly mentioned the mobile business and how they want it to be a core pillar to expose people to the IP, because I mean everybody's got a cell phone, everybody plays dumb cell phone games, so to give people stuff like Fire Emblem, like Pokemon to just drop into and try is good. And then he wraps up by talking about my favorite thing ever: theme parks, video content, and character-based merchandise, which there's going to be a Patreon goal to send us to Nintendo Land and stream it. Like that's just life. I'm putting it on there when this opens in 2022, I think it is. Like,
didn't they add a Mario section to Disney World?
I heard something about
that.
Am
I making that up?
No, I think it was Universal, not Disneyland, but
I think that's part of it, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know my theme parks very well.
Yeah.
I'm not a big theme park person.
Same. I've always been too poor.
It's not about poor. It's just not fun to be outside baking in the sun all day.
Wrong.
For me.
So yeah. So this is a thing. The new video content kind of scares me because they've had such a story track history with that.
You didn't like Mario's letters with Mario, whatever that was?
Oh, I'm not even talking. I'm talking about the actual live action Mario movie. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a train wreck.
So, but I've gone on the record as saying that I love the character-based merchandise. I love the I think it was Forever 21 collabs that they did with clothing recently. That was amazing, and I'm all about it. So, I like this.
I've recently found myself on thinkgeek.com a lot, looking through their stuff. I'm like, oh my god, that's super cool. Oh my god, that's super cool.
The chain chomp that is a flying chain chomp that is a desk lamp.
It's a desk lamp. I like the one, the blocked lamp that's like the pull chain is Mario jumping. Super cool stuff. There was and I almost made Jasmine buy it. There was a window reflector for your car, and it was like the Hylian shield. She's like, "Do you want that?" I was like, "Yes, but don't buy it." I have to buy video games instead.
Yeah. So we're all about this stuff. Yay, Nintendo tie-in stuff.
All right, let's move on. According to Nintendo, the Switch is played about 50-50 docked versus undocked. Before you say anything else, where do you stand? What's your percentage if you had to break it down off the top of your head?
90 docked, 10 undocked.
I'm in the exact same boat.
Yeah. I dock when I actually recently I clued into the fact that it was a what?
Nothing. Just keep going.
I recently clued into the fact that it was a handheld console, and so I actually took it in the car with me when we were going to run errands one day. And it was kind of a magical moment. I was like, wait, this is a portable console. I can take this places. I can do things with it. So I definitely need to undock it more frequently, but yeah, it's primarily right now when I travel out of my city kind of thing. So you said you're in the same boat.
Yeah, I'm just over here laughing at stupid immature humor. I usually only take mine to work for sometimes I'll play it on break, but I usually don't do that. Or to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's the best. For me, it's graphical fidelity actually still matters to me. It's I don't care so much that it has to be 4K, but it needs to not look like a friggin' potato. And yeah, the screen's smaller, but it always looks really potato, in my opinion. So I just keep it docked all the time.
I will actually say on that note that a Arena of Valor actually looks a lot better on the Switch than it did on the phone. Go figure. And I really appreciate that. I didn't think I would care, but I'm actually like, no, this looks pretty nice. I'm enjoying this a bit.
That game looks fantastic. Better than it has any right to, in my opinion.
Yeah, given that it's like a upscaled phone port.
Yeah. But anyway.
So that's the thing.
Ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. Ubisoft CEO is excited about the future of Nintendo collaborations. Yeah, I bet he is.
Yeah. He said that more surprise Nintendo projects will be coming, which I'm all for because
Assassin's Creed Mario.
I mean, I'm not even gonna like. Normally, I have fun with like speculating on this sort of thing, but this one, it's just too much. There is so many places that they could go with this that I have no clue where to even start. Like, nobody would have said that Ubisoft was going to work with Nintendo on a strategy RPG. Like, that's just a little mind-blowing.
Insane.
Yeah. So.
But also, I figured out where Waluigi is. He's currently training to be the next assassin. Or the next Templar, because he's Waluigi, so he's probably going to be a Templar.
Yeah, he's got to be a bad guy. Come on.
Altair is going to come back and take him out. That's what it is.
I'm going to be real honest at this point. I just know that you're saying Animal Crossing, Assassin's Creed words.
They're both AC, to be fair.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what just happened.
Very confusing. Ubisoft comes to the Switch. AC? What's AC mean anymore? You don't know.
I'm going to see a headline that's just AC Switch September 2018, and I'm going to lose my mind, and they're going to be talking about it.
Yeah. It'll be a Black Flag port or something.
Yeah, and I'll just cry. There will be tears. It's just going to happen.
That would never happen.
Yeah. So this is a thing I'm interested and excited because, again, as we've all said, the first round went really well. So
ready to move on?
Actually, that I want to pose that same question to you. What do you think about this? Given how much you appreciate Mario Rabbids, how do you feel about this going forward?
I have a I'll call it a popular opinion of Ubisoft in that I don't really want them coming to Nintendo because I don't really like what they do. I liked the first 3 Assassin's Creed games, and then it kind of I don't know. I stopped liking them after that. So I'll let them pleasantly surprise me, like they did with Mario Rabbids. I don't have an opinion one way or the other.
Okay, that's fair. I'm honestly a little surprised that you aren't just all in on it, but I cannot fault you that.
Other than Assassin's Creed, I don't really even know what they do because I don't care about Ubisoft. So
that's fair.
Sorry, Ubisoft.
I'm actually in the same boat in that I can't think of anything they do besides that. So
they have Rabbids, which is okay, and then they have Assassin's Creed
and Rayman. They have Rayman. That's the other one, which is already on the Switch. So
sure, I knew that totally. Anyway, ready to move on? Let's talk about the best country in the world, Canada. The Switch got a price drop in Canada.
So it went from $399 to $399.99 CAD to $379.99 CAD, which puts it at just below the US version when price converted, which is... I don't think it's ever happened before. Like, if it wasn't made in Canada, I think it's always been more expensive in Canada than in the US. So I'm a little, shocked by this.
Yeah, even when the CAD has been stronger than the USD, the CAD has always been the higher priced item. Yeah, I don't know. Cool, whatever.
Yeah, so
I'd like to know the reason, but
yeah, I was actually, that was another thing I meant to ask you. Is there some kind of weird Canadian sale holiday coming up that I don't know about? Like, do you have a Black Friday at the start of July?
Not at the start of July, no.
Okay.
No, I mean they have Black Friday. Well, except for them, it's called Boxing Day, and it's after Christmas, the day after Christmas.
Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing coming up. The other thing that makes this a little weird to me is that it actually theoretically makes this more affordable for Canadians, which we were discussing before the show, and that based on their minimum wage versus our minimum wage, as a low earning person in Canada, potentially this is more affordable. So
yeah, it puts the purchasing power of but you also got to consider that they're taxed a lot more heavily.
Mm-hmm.
On their paychecks, so this probably actually brings it right into line average across the nation. Speaking,
crazy
with a minimum wage person here in America, specifically.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a thing.
Hey, let's move on to another Canadian. Celeste is potentially receiving a physical version.
So it was a tweet, and the developer just said working on it. So don't take this as fact. It is a potential. But however, that being said, but also yeah, confirmed. If this happens, I will 100% be buying this game. Like this will be the thing. I have had so many people tell me how amazing this game is, and I've been, I don't even know why, just pushing it off, and so yeah, if it gets
saturation.
Yeah,
we
that's
talked
fair.
about this today. I'm like, when are you gonna get Celeste? And you're like, I have too many.
Yeah. I've got 3 games right now that I'm trying to play, including I kind of want to go back and play Doom finally. So too much stuff, but yeah. So give me a physical and I'll buy it because that's how I am.
Same. All right, moving on. Nintendo is planning to make an amiibo for Veteran Smash.
Amiibos, format veteran / characters. Yeah. So they specifically call it.
Said.
Yeah. It's almost like if I wrote better headlines, you would have better headline intros. They specifically call it Ice Climbers and Pichu as 2. But, I mean, there's a whole slew of old Smash characters that haven't received Amiibo. I think, okay, so here's a fun question. If Cloud gets an Amiibo...
He already does, he has 2. He's got Advent Children and he's got Base Skin, and yes, I've almost bought 2 multiple times.
He already has an Amiibo? Really?
Look it up, dude, yeah.
I mean, no, I believe you. I'm just shocked.
I've come so close to buying both of them multiple times, but it's like, I don't need this. I don't need more kitschy stuff. But I want it. Oh my god!
You need to buy like a set of floating shelves for the wall behind you. I actually also need to do the same thing for back here, and then you can just display them.
I'd rather have it above my monitors, right up there, and just put all my Amiibo up there. But yeah, he like the and of course they're Amiibo, so they look fantastic. Like the swords are they pay special attention to not bend the swords in the packaging too, which is another problem with these things. Yeah, I've come close to the Cloud ones, and I've come close to the Shadow of Valencia ones. I can't remember their names right now. But the most recent Fire Emblem game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alm and Celica. That's them.
Those are names. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yep. I did it.
So yeah, this is a thing. It's a thing. Colin, move us forward.
I need you to say transition.
Okay.
Square Enix is working on an action RPG for the Switch. What do we got?
We don't actually know anything at all. We know that Business Division 8 is the studio developing it. We know that they have made... Why did I not make you say this? Seiken Densetsu?
Perfect. You nailed it, or whatever.
Yeah. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, Imperial Saga, and Bahamut Disco. Oh, and the Secret of Mana remake. Now, I'm gonna be a Debbie. I'm really excited for this news. I wanna just preface all of this with that, but none of that gives me any excitement at all. The Secret of Mana remake was mostly panned. Imperial Saga is a website game. Brave Exvius is a phone game that is super exploitative and awful, I believe. Correct me on that one? Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
I have no idea what the other 2 are, Bahamut Disco and Seiken Densetsu. So, all of that's a little scary. Because those are...
The only thing on this list worth talking about, potentially 2 things, are Final Fantasy VI, but who knows what they actually did for that, the remaster, and what did they do for just a bunch of Dragon Quest? What does that mean? Exactly.
Your guess is as good as mine. So, yeah, so as you alluded to, there's a bunch of remaster / ports, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy Dimensions 2, which I don't know what that is either, and then a bunch of Dragon Quest stuff. And so the only original creations that they've done have been stuff I've never heard of or Brave Exvius. And I don't know, it's not exactly a super high pedigree. And given that Square Enix lately has been putting out just not great stuff as Switch exclusives, I don't know how excited I can be about this. Which is sad because I want a new good action RPG, especially a Square Enix one. I really liked... Oh god, what was it called? Final Fantasy Mystic Dungeon? Mystic something? I don't know. Mystic Sword. Mystic Quest. I think it was Mystic Quest. Anyway. So yeah, we're both excited cautiously. I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And that about wraps us up for the news.
Hey, listen!
We have a question of the time period. Our old question of the time period, because we're moving on today, was, how did you feel about the E3 presentation from Nintendo? And we got 75% it was okay, it could have been better, and then 25% it was amazing. And I would really like to hear from the it was amazing people. Was that you? Were you trolling me with that? No? Okay.
I would never troll you.
This
And
is-
also, that wasn't me.
Okay. So I would really love to hear from this 10 from 10 out of 10 was amazing person, because I'm just curious
It's
what
probably
about it. It was probably Riri, that's fair. But yeah, so everybody agrees it was unanimous, it wasn't that great. And then our new question of the time period is, how did you feel about physical pre-order bonuses? Which was spawned from a news article last week about some game that was doing physical pre-orders, but because I have the memory of a goldfish, I don't remember.
Are you talking about Okami?
I don't think it was Okami. It was one of those that was like, it wasn't actually a special edition. It was like how Shantae did it, where Shantae was like, if you buy it before a certain time, you will get the art book and the soundtrack and whatnot. But it was the same base price.
It was probably either Ys 8 or Valkyria Chronicles, because both of those have that going on. The Shiba.
Yeah, it was. You were right. It's Valkyria Chronicles. So yeah, the options are, I love it. It definitely pushes me over the edge on pre-orders, which is where I'm at, even though I kind of hate it. I don't care at all either way. They're cool, but they won't force me a decision, or boo to all pre-order bonuses, which is, in my head, that's how I want to think. But also, if you tell me I'll get an art book if I buy your game right now, I will absolutely buy your game right now, because I'm me. And now, I throw this to you. How do you feel about these sorts of things?
I don't care at all.
You don't care
If
at
it
all?
happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't care. I just want the game.
What if it was like Octopath Traveler? I guess you'd already buy Octopath Traveler, so it doesn't matter.
If it has a special edition that I care about, I'll buy the special edition that I care about. The only special editions I've ever bought are Diablo 3 and Final Fantasy 14, but I'm going to pretend that never happened. Actually, I bought the special edition also for Dissidia. And it's these Square special editions kill me every time. But Diablo, I put a lot of time in Diablo. I really like that one.
Mm. So if the Octopath Special Edition, I meant to ask you this earlier, but I'm going to slot it in right here. If the Octopath Traveler one came up right now, would you buy it?
No. Well, I'm not... I like it now, but I don't know that I like it so much that I'm willing to drop, what was that, like 3 times the price? Well, it's more like a little more than double the price.
I think it was like 130, I think.
Yeah. Nah. If it's Kingdom Hearts 3, yes. If it's Final Fantasy 7, yes. If it's Octopath Traveler, I'm sure it's a great game, but it's just, no, thank you, pass.
Okay. Well, that is how we feel. And you can tell us how... Why did I get so quiet? And you can tell us how you feel by joining us on the... Oh, there's a link for that. There's a joining us on the Discord at bit.ly/DSN Discord. If you want to email the show, you can do so at desyncednerds@gmail.com. If you prefer Twitter, you can tweet at us, at the show, at Desynced Nerds, or at either of us individually. I'm at Kulana, Kulanah, and he is at DSN Colin. If you want to support the show, we are on Patreon at patreon.com/desyncednerds. And if you want to support the show but you cannot do so monetarily, you can rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, and we will read those above. Yes?
You didn't give us the link for the question of the time period.
The question of the time period is bit.ly/DSN poll 39. I had to just scroll down a little bit for it. Now you've made me lose my place. You can catch us again next Monday at approximately 6:30 p.m. PST because I'm lazy. 9:30 p.m. EST and 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday in the following day. On twitch.tv/Desynced Nerds. All of our VODs will be up on YouTube. The channel is Desynced Nerds. And again, yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Peace.
Okay, now, I should probably